Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Thanks so much for being my friend. Like I always say, I really appreciate it a lot. So today I thought that we would gather some wise words from Rashad Jamal. I have a few clips that I'd like us to watch and listen to. So let's get into these clips.
Anunnaki. You have two types of Anunnaki, right? You got the Atlantean Anunnaki, which is all of us. And then you got the Sumerian Anunnakis, which were what the Africans created. Okay, the Africans are who? Us. But the Africans created the Sumerian text after we fell in frequency. So basically the Africans who made up this lie about the Sumerian Anunnaki were basically under spells, and they were just telling false stories about the real Anunnaki to hide the truth of who the Anunnakis really are. All the way down to the point where it's like, if you look it up, it's gonna say Anunnaki gonna relate back to any Sumerian tablets or Sumerian text. You're gonna see that's where the credit gonna go to when you started talking about Anunnakis or Anunnaki. I told somebody on Instagram, got into my post, and was like, hey, man, you know what I'm saying? Why are you lying to people? We the Titans, the fucking Anunnaki are what the Africans created. Well, he true about them Africans creating that in a textbook. But no, because he said the Titans, because he thought we was Titans. Listen, we are, the name of your species is Anunnaki God. If you are black or Latino, you are Anunnaki God. Why is it called Anunnaki? Because this is planet Kai. And we are the Anunnaki. We've been Anunnaki, so that's why we named it Planet Kai. The fuck? We didn't name it Planet Moore, nigga. We didn't name it Planet Titan, motherfucker. Nigga, we the Titans. No, we not, nigga. You need to go within more. Nigga, the Titans are the 72 powerful ancestral spirits and energies that are locked deep within your genetics, you goofy, smoothie. The Titans are the ones that they trying to seal the fuck up, which is why they got motherfuckers taking the little vaccines and shit. Learn something, man. Instead of trying to get in here and help the CIA discredit this truth. Nigga, the people waking up regardless, man. We rising, nigga. Everybody see through all that fake shit. We ain't got a lie, nigga. Fuck the Moors, nigga. They ass sold us. Whoever controls the media controls the mind. And if you start to get a hold over their media, then they coming for you, like they came for me. All right. That's not no cartoon. That shit real. It's real. That's why it's over with. Because they've been doing that too long. Way too long. And force the people to believe that what they see on TV is real when it's not. I told you they got hella clones. Somebody just talked about the clones. They show the clones an inside job on Netflix. Labs full of clones. And I told you they didn't clone everybody. All they need is a sample of your blood and your bone marrow. And they don't even need your bone marrow, just a sample of your blood. You see on the inside job, she rested her hand on the damn machine and got her whole hand recloned. So they putting it in your face to make jokes about the shit, but it's real. It's in game, so they gotta show it to you. They trying to hear it, show it to you. That's why so many shows coming out. Black Lightning. What you think Black Lightning is about? The Kundalini energy rising on the planet, and your genetics being unlocked. Notice how the oldest daughter found out her powers. What she had to do. It was all in her what? Her breathing. Facts. And she went to a little alley and worked on her shit to find out exactly what it was. That's what we supposed to be doing. Because the energy here now. You Black Lightning, nigga, on another level. You don't even know you the Hawk, you got all that power, the energy here right now. Work on your breathing. Go outside, work on your element. What's your element? Your zodiac element. That's a key to one of your first powers. Are you a water sign, fire sign, air sign, earth sign? Why you think in the Avatar cartoon, they had a nation of firebenders, a nation of airbenders, a nation of windbenders, a nation of waterbenders? Now think about how many people follow the water signs, fire signs, air signs, earth signs. Kundalini energy rising.
He is not wrong. He's actually extremely correct with that. We do have powers, and we should be trying to figure out our powers. He's not wrong, you know. I watched a video yesterday, I think it was, with 607 Unk, and he was saying that talking about raising children, and that you should let them figure out who they are instead of trying to force them to be who you want them to be. And all of these things together are correct, because we come into this world as a soul to find ourselves, and we often get swept up into the illusions that other people have placed on us. We are supposed to be finding our power, finding out who we are, what elements we work with, how we work with them. Like, I'm a Pisces. Pisces is water. Most water signs feel more comfort in water, right? Water brings you comfort. So what do you believe we can do with our hands, What do you believe we can do with our breath work, right? Breath work connects you to the source. Breath work connects you to your higher conscience, right? So he's not wrong. We should be doing these things so we can learn ourselves better and have a better understanding of our powers and who we are.
Location, dolphins use echolocation. Echolocation is the original language we spoke on this planet. That's why in Predator, they show the predator doing what? He's doing clicks. He uses echolocation. All right? But do you know what the fuck echolocation really is? That's them transferring the chi out of their soul, because dolphins have souls. Did you know that? Right. So the reason that echolocation works for a fucking dolphin or a whale is because they actually have a soul, and they release that solar energy, and it's called solar technology. And they took the solar part off, and they called it sonar technology. So when dolphins use echolocation, they call that sonar, SONAR technology. But the soul, the S and O, comes from the S and O from solar, because dolphins have spirit and soul, because dolphins are also fucking gods.
Did you know that there used to be a birthing center in Hawaii that was a dolphin-assisted birth center, where you'd go and you'd interact with these dolphins giving birth, and something very miraculous would happen? Keep in mind, the mainstream media went full smear campaign on anyone even considering having a dolphin-assisted birth. Did you know that dolphins are the only creature that you are legally prohibited from interacting with unless you're in a registered facility like SeaWorld? So why is that? At these birth centers, a strange phenomenon would happen where the women who are pregnant would be sitting in the water, and the dolphins would come around and start swimming in circles around them. They would create a natural vortex around the woman, and they would use their sonar to allegedly psychically heal and interact with the baby, the unborn baby. A man named Igor Charkovsky assisted thousands of underwater dolphin-assisted births with women from around the world, and the results are astounding. And you could say that's why they have tried to ban dolphin-assisted births. Here's the birthing center in Hawaii that has since been closed down after no one was harmed, no animals were injured, and yet thousands of women were giving birth with dolphins around and had an amazing time. But what was the result of this? Children born with a dolphin-assisted birth had higher IQ, higher physical capabilities at a younger age. They were able to walk sooner. They were able to talk sooner. Something happened with these dolphins and these humans that increased their mental, cognitive, and physical abilities. You may be wondering, how is this possible? Isn't a dolphin just a damn dumb fish? Two ways to figure out how exactly you can gauge the intelligence of an animal. One of them is the brain size. Another one is the folds, in the brain, which are indicative of the amount of neural cells that can be present. Dolphins have some of the most folds in their neocortex than any other animal on Earth, which means they can be extremely advanced, and we wouldn't know it because we don't know how to speak dolphin. Here we have a mainstream news article saying experts blast couple for flying to Hawaii for a dolphin-assisted birth. They're trying to make people never consider such a situation. In my opinion, they are hiding a specific, perhaps even ancient practice of giving birth with dolphins present.
Dolphins use echolocation.
And they said, dolphins, the intelligence of dolphins is on a grander scale compared to humans, And that's why we're not able to or not supposed to be communicating with them. And it's interesting that they would shut down the facility in Hawaii. You know, that means that the government really doesn't want us to have power. Do you see it? Like, it's like anything good for us that we're doing with nature, the government has an issue. It's an issue, you know, so they try to, blast it, put it on blast, talk down on these things. The government's the enemy for real. Like, you got to really start realizing it. Like, these elites, these higher ups, whatever they are the real enemies.
This same electricity, nothing generates more electricity than your ether. And specifically, when you lock it or braid it. And now it's just like this. When you don't have no ether on your head, you're not going to generate no electricity. And you can't receive no cosmic downloads without no hair on your head. People that's bald head, they can't get they completely shut off from the cosmos. Hear me clearly. They completely shut off from the cosmos and a huge part of themselves. The more hair you get on your head, the closer you are to yourself. The more hair you have on your head, the closer you are to yourself. All right? The closer you are to the cosmos. All right? And I'm going to explain why, Now, the next phase up is actually having braids. Having hair on your head is one thing, but then getting braids. A person that has their hair braided will generate more electricity and can receive more downloads than a person who has hair on their head, who has ether on their head, but they can't, but it isn't braided. Why? Because when it's in a braided format, it's making a coil. Okay. And for you to understand the way coils work, you would have to understand the way the way metal, copper, and these different properties work as conductors with electricity. All right, so this is why a person with their hair braided will generate more charge than a person who has who has ether, but it's not braided. All right, because when it's not in a coil format, so it's going to receive electricity, but it's not as strong. Think about a magnifying glass. Think about a magnifying glass. It's just like if you take a magnifying glass and you focus it in on a certain part of the grass while the sun is out, you could set the grass on fire because you're channeling all that photon energy through that glass on that one little part of grass. And that's I know a lot. That's an old science experiment you should do as a kid. Take a magnifying glass when it's sunny outside and put it over some grass. The grass is set on fire because when the circle of the magnifying glass is what grabbing that much of photon energy and channeling it specifically on that grass, as opposed to when it's not a magnifying glass, all that photon energy that the sun is emitting from its chromosphere, all that photon energy that the sun is emitting from its chromosphere. The grass not receiving it to the point where it's going to catch fire because it's spread out. But when you take a magnifying glass, you're channeling that energy. All right, so it's like that. So when you got braids, it's just like your hair's braided a little more to channel that energy. All right, but remember it's just braided. So them braids they can come down. So that's why a person with locks, with their hair actually locked, it's the epitome of charging up electrical currents for the aura. Right? A person with their hair locked can master the elements on a level that a person without it locked never will. You know what I'm saying? A person with their hair locked can receive downloads that a person without it locked never will. This is the fact. Why? Because let's go back to the coil. When it's locked, just like a braid. When it's locked, it becomes an antenna. But unlike a braid, it's not coming down. So all the electricity that's being created from the chi, because you got to remember, first off, what is this? This is ether. This is not hair. All right, the human being species has hair. All right, they have the same follicles the dogs have. That is hair, and there is no metaphysical properties to it. Their hair doesn't connect them to etheric realms and the astral realms and other planets and stuff like that. Their hair doesn't do that.
Time for knowledge.
I agree, and that's why I actually locked my hair, because I wanted to feel more of a spiritual connection, you know, and the way my hair was, I felt like it just needed to be locked, right? So I did little locks and I attached extensions to the end. I actually love my hair a lot better now than I did before, but my hair is just so short. I'm just waiting for it to grow a little, you know? But you know what? I really do enjoy listening to Rashad Jamal speak, and I hope you enjoyed listening to him speak and gathered some knowledge from the few videos that I posted. You know, if you are having a great time on my channel, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.